Alright, you guys, so unfortunately I forgot my mic back in the car, and I don't want to have to hike back up where I was at to go get it, so we'll just have to bear with me for a minute. But we finally made it to this beautiful waterfall. Look at this. There's some locals out here, which is really nice. But here's the thing that we need to talk about. Right now I still have my lens cap on my camera, but when we look at the waterfall, it's kind of hazy up here. Not because of the clouds, but because of the water, and we're getting all of this mist that's coming off. And so what that's going to do is it's going to go to the front of the camera. So if I pull my lens cap off right now, the front of my lens is going to start getting mist. And so I do have a micro fiber cloth, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it off, quickly get my exposure where I want it, clean it, and then take the photo. And the reason why is that's going to allow me to get the cleanest photo possible. With this shot, it's very straightforward, very simple. We're not too worried about the sky because there's nothing in the sky right now. It's cloudy and it's not interesting. It's boring. There's nothing there. And so what we want to do is we're kind of coming down low. We have a little bit of the sky, and maybe we can blend in a blue sky or something when we get back home to do our post-production. But we kind of came down and kind of just got mainly the water and the stream right here. And so this one I did not throw on my neutral density filter because it's already cloudy, so I was able to bump it up to f22 so that way I can push my shutter to get that nice silky water. And so we have both. We have nice silky water, and then we have freezing water to show in post-production, so that way we can decide, okay, do we want it to be frozen in time or do we want it to streak? And that gives us options, which is very nice, and allows us to come up with different ways that we can compose this photo. So we're going to keep chugging along, and we're going to go on to our next spot. Alright, you guys, so here we are back, and so while we were out there, these are the photos that I ended up taking. I did portrait and landscape mode, and we can see how the water's frozen in time and then it turns into silk, because this was at f11 ISO 50, and it was pretty cloudy out, and so it kind of worked out in a good way. Now, I really didn't like this composition. I do and I don't. I like that you have the bush, but I think I prefer this one better. So this was the long exposure at ISO 50, 1/5 of a second at f22. And we can really see how the water is starting to streak, which emphasizes, okay, this is kind of big, and you have the rock right here. To help kind of give you a size to scale. But then when we look at these other ones, right, I kind of like how it looks at 1/30th versus the 1/5, because there's a little bit more information and texture. But honestly, I really like this one. I like that there's not a lot of sky. And if we go to our adjustment, we look at the histogram, it's pretty good. Our shadows are kind of dark. And so I think we could just work with this one photo. And so this is what it looked like before. And I kind of like that. I mean, I like that the sky is blowing out, because that's going to be very easy to fix. I like that it's warm, but we definitely need to cool it off because it's too warm. There we go, right? And there we go. So reapply it. So essentially we did it, our 100. We brightened it up a little bit, brought down the highlights, opened up the shadows, bring down the blacks, and I did adjust the Kelvin a little bit, so
It was way too warm when I originally took it. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this. We're going to export, export, and we're going to put this into Photoshop. All right, so we have this here in Photoshop, and it's a good photo. We're at a good starting point. And the first thing I want to do is I want to replace the sky. Now, I'm not a big fan of doing this. This is the one thing that I really, really try to avoid. And there's times like this where you're traveling and there's just nothing you can do about it, and that's okay. That's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're not going to adjust this layer. We're going to make a duplicate because we don't want to work on the original layer, because in Photoshop we want to work with luminosity mask and layer mask. We're going to come up to File, or I mean Edit, and then scroll down to Sky Replacement. So Edit down Sky Replacement. We're going to let the computer do its thing. All right, there we go. So now we have the sky replacement panel popping up. And this is where essentially we get to decide what happens to this sky. And so we have different options that we can select from. Give it a second, it's still loading right here. So let's see what we have for skies. Um, let's see what this one does. Oh yeah, it's the same one. So, and then all you have to do, we just got to drag it. So I'm kind of high. Oh, oh, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. There we go. That actually looks pretty good. I like how it's orange right here, and it really blends in. Kind of makes it like a evening sunset shot, kind of. Let's see. Feather the edge is pretty good. Let's bring up the brightness. Ooh, too dark. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then we could either warm it or cool it. Let's warm it up, see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that's getting better. There we go. I like that. There we go. And then we'll hit OK. And so there, we were just able to replace the sky. And that's all of this right here for the sky replacement. They put it in a folder for you, which is nice. But we actually need to go in and fix it. Um, Control Z. There we go. So what I was doing is I needed to move the square over just a little bit because I could see the line through the tree cutting into just what was a little bit of the blue sky. But now we don't have that. Now it's fully behind the tree because it's like right here is where it was cutting. And so there we go. So we were able to do that. Now all we have to do is Control Alt Shift E. This is now going to give us our base layer that we're going to build upon, and then we can click here, put this into a folder. Oh wait, that's right. Can't do a folder within a folder. There we go. This can be. It's fine. Whatever. And so we'll go to our new layer, and we're going to go to Adobe Camera Raw, where we're going to reprocess this photo, but now we're going to blend it to where the sky is, a part of the photo, and it doesn't look like we, photoshopped it in, which that's what we're doing. And there's nothing wrong with it, so we can bring down the highlights just a little, because we don't need to go super dramatic with this. There we go. Bring up the whites. We don't want to go too high, because if we go too high, we'll start clipping. So 20. There we go. Bring that down. Bring up the vibrance, because it was very green. Oh yeah, look at that. Bring up the saturation just a little. And now let's play around with the color. So let's do a color range. There we go. And then we'll use the color picker right here. There we go. And now we're selecting just that color. And the cool thing about this is something new that Photoshop did. You can go to the point color, pick a color. So I'm mainly focusing on the green, and now we can adjust just that area and try and get it as accurate as possible for when we were there. We don't want to go too crazy. And then color range, do the same thing, but this time let's do the orange in the sky. Come back down, pick our color picker again, do the exact same thing, and now we can really get this zoned in. So take that down. Bring up the saturation. There we go. Do the same thing again, color range. And then I want to do the blues. One more. So we'll scroll down, pick the color picker, and okay. There we go. Get the blue mist right here. Are we even doing anything? Yeah, we're not even doing anything. So we'll just go back to our main settings. And now we can come down to our saturation and do our big ones. That's not really doing anything. Oh, that is. That's really giving it some orange. We don't want to go too orange. Go just a little. Bring down the yellows. Greens. Aquas. There we go. That's adjusting that over there. And then we have our blues. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that right here. See how that blue is changing up there, right? We can either warm it up if we wanted to, and that kind of give it in the sky, or we can go blue. And I think I'm gonna go a little blue. I like that. I like that. It's like an almost like an X. Um, there we go. Because we got blue here, orange here, and orange down here. Anything with magentas or purples? Nope. What about magenta? Not really seeing anything, and so that is good. And then we have a lot of green, so let's see. We can balance this a little better. Don't want to go too crazy. Yeah. There we go. And then we'll hit OK. And so there we go. That's a really good starting point for the photo. Um, so we went from uh, basic edit from this plain boring photo to adding in the sky right here to then reprocessing it in Adobe Camera Raw to make it look like one cohesive photo. And so that's a process that I sometimes have to use, and that's okay. This photo is already looking good, and something what we could do is we could do a color balance. And now we can really come in here and create some unique, interesting depth because when we do the color balance, right, we can now individually adjust these colors. So we're looking at the reds, okay, we can see on the cliff wall in areas that we're making it dark. So I'd rather go dark because we want the sun to look like it's up here because it's setting behind us. So we can make the reds go dark, and you can even adjust others if you want to, but I mainly just do the blacks. Right now we're working with the greens. I kind of like them a little darker. I like the darkness. We're creating a little bit of pop. Bring up the greens, right? Or we can bring them down. I like going. Let's go up just a little because we can do some dodging and burning. The crown is going to be over here in the. Yeah, let's go a little darker with the crayons. The blues. Now the blues right here, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to kind of increase it because it's only that one area and within the waterfall. So that's pretty good. We're kind of creating it, making it looking like a haze, and then bring down the blacks too. And that right there just made a huge difference in the photo, right? It's very subtle. It's not crazy. And then you can even take this a step farther and we can really push it because we can go in and do dodging and burning. And that, especially in the waterfall, we can create that 3D effect and so forth. We can make areas darker and other areas pop. But going from a basic waterfall that had a blown out sky to what we have here, we were able to compose a beautiful photo because we knew what we had in mind. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. And if you're enjoying this channel, please help support it. It helps me grow and allows me to keep going on these amazing adventures. And I'm super excited because I'm in my last 2 final semesters of college, and I'm getting ready to graduate with my bachelor's in photography and a minor in videography. And hopefully next year we can go really hard and put a lot of content out there. So stay tuned, and we'll keep talking more about the Philippines.